Okay, so good day. This is the video lecture for the topic Philosophies of Education in the Eastern Societies. Okay, so contrasting it with the Western educational philosophies, um, primarily the characteristic of Eastern educational philosophies is that they are teacher-centered as compared to those that we have learned in topic 2 that the educational philosophies are learner-centered. So you will find out that much of the methodologies for Eastern educational philosophies no, are geared towards uh, teacher-centered approaches. Okay, so if we look into um, Eastern educational philosophies and trace um, the um, the framework, trace its framework, no, you could gauge that those that you will encounter later on, I mean, the philosophies that you will encounter later on, are directly sourced from religious teachings. Okay, and that's why you will be learning, or you will be, I mean, part of what will be presented here would be on Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, and the like. Okay, so um, even in our countries, we are highly religious. I mean, there are a lot of um, there may be a lot of religions that proliferate in the country. The fact remains that uh, we appear to be faith um, bounded, no, um, country. Okay, so this would be the very nature or characteristic of um, the Eastern philosophies. Now, looking into the characteristics, no, per se, as mentioned earlier, since it is teacher centered, then therefore we view learners, Eastern learners specifically, as um, those who subscribe into passive learning. Okay, and so what is passive learning? I'm sure you know what it meant by passive learning. Okay, so if the student comes to class, enters the class, sit down and listens to the teacher, and that there is one source of knowledge, and that this source of knowledge would simply just transfer the knowledge to the learners, and the learners would simply listen and receive the transmitted knowledge, then that is what it meant by passive learning. So there's one-way transmission of knowledge, students as the receivers and teachers as the providers of information. Um, I kept mentioning about teacher-centered approaches. Okay, in Eastern schools, okay, much of the teaching learning relationship is accounted to the teacher, so that when we talk about outcomes, no, when we talk about um, the direction of the learning, then that can be attributed to the teacher. Therefore, the full responsibility lies under the teacher when it comes to what the students can learn, and as to what extent, no, are they able to understand um, learning materials or contents given by the teacher. Okay, for the Eastern philosophy, education also is considered as Okay, let me just go back to the slide. Education is focused mainly on book learning and memorization and on examination and grades. Okay, so again, we invoke the bureaucracy. No, I mean, in the Philippines, for example, we are highly bureaucratic, and therefore we confer to documents. No, we confer to eligibilities, to certificates. No, and this is why we put much premium on board examinations, on grades, on tests. Bakit kaya sa bansa natin kapag nag-apply ang isang graduate, isa sa mga tinitingnan ay yung transcript of records, no? In fact, may mga professions na kapag ikaw ay nag-apply, kasama sa yardstick o kasama doon sa criteria yung um, grade point average, no? So, these are concrete examples na para bang um, masyadong naha-highlight um, yung grading system, yung kung ano yung natutunan ng bata na na kumbaga parang um, that I mean, not necessarily na natutunan ng bata. I mean, yung sa grades, no, as if the grades are indicative of what the child or what the learner has learned, no? So, this rote memorization, kaya nga tingnan ninyo, pag kayo ay nag-prepare for board examination, hindi lang naman magbabasa ang gagawin ninyo, eh, iintindihin din ninyo yung material at mas advantage ninyo kung mame-memorize ninyo yung material kasi it's a matter of retrieving information from the memory, no? So this is how, or this is the practice or the culture in Eastern schools. Now, what else? The emphasis on conformity, no? Compliance, no? There are rules that are um, being presented inside the class or inside the school, and the role of the learner is to comply, to obey, no, with these rules, no. For what are the rules? Definitely, it serves its purpose. It has its certain. It has a specific purpose, no. So, of course, part of that would be to siguro discipline the child, or to ensure that there is discipline inside the um, the classroom or inside the school. Okay? So, we have what we call academic rules, no? Sa case ninyo, meron kayong student manual. The student manual actually provides for the do's and the don'ts while you are in the classroom, or how you must behave even if you are outside the school, outside the premises of the school. And then, in terms of how children or learners are encouraged, no, particularly on how they should perform better, no, criticism is allowed. No, in fact, it is used, no, to encourage students. No, in fact, if you would recall perhaps some of your experiences, in what manner were you um, encouraged, no, by your teachers? Is it always positive reinforcement, or are there also negative reinforcers or punishment or criticisms, no? So um, that is not to demean the child or to devalue the child, but to what? um Especially when the child failed, no, or has failing grades, no, we cannot of course depart from scolding the child or making the child realize what he or she is obligated to do. Okay, um for the purpose that the child would realize or would do reflections, so that he could of course better behave, parang ganun. Okay? Now, in terms of the student-teacher relationship, no, teachers are revered. In fact, they um, they sit in a position of authority, no? So the teachers as the authority and the students as one having the obligation to comply with the authority. Okay? So that is how it is. As compared to the Western culture that teachers are seen as facilitators, as guides, no? And while respect is there, authority is not so rigid, no? That would strain or that would cause inhibitions on the part of the learner to confer with the teacher whenever there is a need to. Okay? Now, in this particular discussion, we will be looking into five Eastern educational philosophies. And just the same as what we did in the Western philosophies, we will be looking into how these philosophies, educational philosophies, view the role of the school, the role of the teacher in particular, okay, relative to the teaching and the learning process. Okay? So we look into Islam. Okay? So alam niyo naman kung ano ang Islam. Ito ang relihiyon ng ating mga kapatid na Muslim, no? At para sa kanila, ang kanilang Diyos ay tinatawag nilang Allah. Okay? Ang kanilang Biblia ay tinatawag nilang Quran. Okay? At ano ba ang laman ng Quran? In fact, yun ang pinaka parang mandato no ng Islam or Islamic education. Okay? Um, sabi dito, knowledge has no value and virtue in and by itself. So there is no such thing as knowledge daw. Okay? In fact, the most vital virtue or the most important knowledge is that which actually could bridge them with their God or with Allah. Okay? So there is this concept of Tawhid, no? So it says here the cognitive, moral, and spiritual function are all intertwined and interdependent. Hindi pwedeng paghiwa-hiwalayin dahil ito ay one that because this is one that makes us holistic, no? So our function is in a manner that cannot be dichotomized. Hindi mo pwedeng i-take singly, no? Or separately. Kung hindi, ay magkakaugnay ang mga ito. Cognitive, moral, and spiritual function. Education is the process that shapes the holistic and balanced human. Okay? So it all boil down to the comprehensive nature of man, which does not only think, which does not only feel, but one who acts in accordance to its nature. I mean, that's morally and spiritually. So knowledge, according to the Islamic philosophy, is the path that leads to Allah. Okay? And it does not favor any gender, but it is actually mandatory for all, no? Irrespective of whether you're a man or a woman. Okay? So, it's useless that we grow intellectually, no? If spiritually, we retard. So, in short, growth must be holistic, intellectually, morally, spiritually, okay? Because it's useless if you grow in age, kahit tumatanda ka kung wala ka namang pagkatandaan na sinasabi nila, no? As you sharpen your intellect, no, habang nag-aaral ka, kaya ka nga nag-aaral dahil sina-sharpen mo, no? I mean, pinapalawak mo, hinahasa mo ang iyong intellectual capacity, no? At ito ay magiging useless kung walang tinatawag na spiritual development. Okay? So the main objective of the Islamic education is to develop the potency of human's intellect, physical, emotion, and spiritual towards the level of perfection. While perfection may be vague, I mean, it may be an elusive term, But you see, in Islamic education, no, what is perfect is when you are able to develop not only your intellect, but also your physical aspect, the emotional, and even the spiritual aspect. So, in short, it must be a holistic one that is holistic. Now, in terms of the educational aim, okay, the very framework or reference is the Quran. It's the first step of education. Okay? So the teachings of Allah are in the Quran. There is such thing as revealed and acquired knowledge. No? So revealed knowledge is actually the compulsory, the curriculum without any charge, and it is compulsory. Okay? What is the revealed knowledge? It is the knowledge of the Quran, the sayings of the Prophet, the beliefs, and worship. In short, anything that is within the ambit of um, moral and spiritual development, that's revealed knowledge. Acquired knowledge, on the other hand, is, of course, those which is in relation to the curriculum, academic especially. So, therefore, this includes physics, chemistry, math, sociology, literature, philosophy, psychology, and any other academic disciplines. Okay? Now, we also have, okay, parang nag-stop ba ang share? Or na-pause yung share? Okay. We also have the teaching methods. Since generally, ang mga educational philosophies na nabanggit ko ay um, um, teacher-centered, then yung approach din nila ay teacher-centered. So we have rote memorization, okay, drill, dictation, discussion, lecture method. Okay. Siguro makikita ninyo na yung mga teachers nyo most often, they use alternately or they use somewhat approaches from the Eastern and that of the Western. Okay? So, practical application, the teacher as one who makes use of a teaching method which for him is deemed the best. No? So, syempre, alam ng guro kung paano i-approach ang kanyang mga estudyante at kung paano i-transmit ang knowledge. And that is why it depends on the teacher. The approach depends on the teacher. Okay? So the role of the teacher are those that are akin to spirituality. They may serve as a spiritual father, being the inheritors of the knowledge of the prophet. No? They teach also students to reason. They reflect on the universe. They are also um, do assessment, and whenever they do assessment, it is one that is objective, it is one that is scientific. Teachers also are role models. Okay, so I suppose you would agree with this, no, because whenever we see teachers, no, we accord them the the we actually as if see them in the highest pedestal. We accord them the high expectations, no? Yung para bang kapag guro ka parang ang hirap magkamali, no? I mean, hindi ka dapat magkamali, hindi ka pwedeng makichismis, hindi ka pwedeng ganyan, ganito, ganyan. Kasi bawat maling kilos mo ay merong maipupukol sa'yo, no? So, the teacher's role is guidance. Okay? Remember, in Islamic education, the role of the teachers is not to what? Um, um, as much as possible to be cautious siguro of their acts, no? Because they are being looked up to, they are being viewed, observed, seen by their students. And whatever they do could influence the young ones. Okay? So teachers must have the qualities of tolerance, patience, hard work, honesty, and spirituality. Is it spirituality? Punctuality. Okay? So, ayan. Now we move on to another philosophy, which is Buddhism. Okay? So, Buddhist. So, Buddhism is founded by Siddhartha Gautama Buddha. No? And in fact, it's Buddha who is considered as the most important, this Buddhism rather, no, is one of the most important religion in Asia. Okay? So, Buddhism appears to be atheists, no? They don't believe in God, no? Um, Aside from that, although they don't believe in God, they acknowledge samsara and karma. Oh, what is samsara? The cyclicality of life, meaning to say, in this cycle, you may be a human being, but in another cycle, it would be very possible that you can be another human species or another species for that matter. Okay? Karma, on the other hand, is when you did something in your life and that this something might probably have hurt others, or you might have exploited others along the process, and hence um, um, for Buddhism to uh, for Buddhism to actually come in, no, um, there is what we call karma, consequences of our actions. No? So, if we do good, sabi nila, we have good karma. If we do bad, then most likely we'll have bad karma. Okay? So, according to the Buddhism philosophy, we are in an endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. No? And this can only be broken when we attain nirvana or enlightenment. In short, yung mga um, parang ah, pabalik-balik, no? Yung pagbalik-balik ng kaluluwa. Okay, halimbawa, ngayong present life, you are a human being. Sa next life, pwedeng ibang species naman. Pero kung tatanungin, yung previous life din nung ah, current human being, what? That is indicative actually of a cycle of being born and then being reborn. Okay? So, everything is interconnected daw. I think nabanggit ko kanina. Therefore, everything affects all other else. No? And this is what we call the doctrine of dependent co-arising. No? Whenever something is happening at this part of the world, no, um, it could be possible that um, those that are happening now could be related to what has happened before, no? Hindi ko alam, pero may mga pagkakataon ba na nararanasan ninyo yung tinatawag na deja vu? Deja vu, no? Yung parang pakiramdam nyo ay nangyari na ito, nakita ko na yung taong yun, nangyari na itong sitwasyon na ito eh. Hindi ko lang maalala kung saan, no? Nakita ko na yung taong yun, hindi ko lang maalala kung sino. Okay? So, that is because we are interconnected. There is interconnectedness between and amongst events in our lives. No? So what is happening now is a part of what has happened before and is a part of what will happen next. Ang kasalukuyan ay syempre malaki ang um, espasyo ng nakaraan. Okay? So, malaki ang espasyo ng nakaraan sa kasalukuyan. Okay? And yung future, meron ding connection sa kasalukuyan. Okay? So, if there's one thing you have to familiarize yourselves with in Buddhism, that would be the Eightfold Path, no? Or the Dharma. Kasi dito, meron tayong mga i-connect sa professional teachers. Okay? And the first among the Eightfold Path is Samadhi or the right view. Okay? So, alam nyo guys, itong Eightfold Path, parang ito yung mga moral guides for teachers. So that if you are a teacher, then there's a need for you to um, I So there's a need for you to look into your behavior, no, and how you relate with your students. So itong right view is more of outward appearance. Okay, so at times what you see on how one behaves or on how one even appears can be um, we can uh, overlook, or we can be uh, I mean, there can be instances that we can be misguided by what we see on the appearance, no? Kasi kung ang titingnan lang natin ay there is a possibility kasi for us to camouflage. Yung parang um, outwardly outwardly ang pinapakita natin ay okay tayo, no? So, ang pinoproject natin ay okay tayo, wala tayong problema, no? Pero in reality ay marami pala. So, kumbaga parang ayaw mo lang i-project kasi may mga motives ka kung bakit ayaw mong kawaan ka ng iba and all, no? So, gano'n din sa mga estudyante. No, nakita mong nakangiti yung estudyanteng yan, nakita mong parang chillax lang siya, pero deep inside, meron palang dinadamdam, meron palang pinagdaraanan. No? So, anong gagawin mo kung ikaw ay guro? No? Remember, you look unto the consistency of behavior. Kasi ganun lang naman yon. Is the behavior consistent? No? Kung nakita mong dishonest ang taong yan at consistent all throughout, dishonest siya. Tatanungin mo ang sarili mo, bakit kaya? Ano kayang nangyari? Ano kaya ang nangyayari sa taong yan? Kapag estudyante yan at absentee yan, bakit kaya? No, magtataka ka kung bakit. Sayang, kasi matalino tong batang to, pero bakit kaya siya absentee? So, yung pagiging pakialamera kung minsan kailangan din kapag guro ka. Dahil it's the only way where you are able to understand the student. No? For instance, when I was at Gonzaga, ang mga estudyante ko ay nawawala. I mean, parang ano sila, inconsistent ang attendance nila pag harvest time, no? No pa nag-aapit. Ket awan damit din, agkara absent damit din. Okay? And so, I did some sort of survey, mga informal questionings and talks lang with them, no? And it's there where I realized na, harvest season pala, no? At kaya sila nawawala kasi mapandamaki-harvest. Oh? Dalawang ano yan pag panagmumula, ken panag-harvest, makita nga talaga ti attendance da, ket inconsistent, agara absent da. Okay? So, merong malalim na dahilan. Kasi kung ang titingnan lang natin ay yung sa surface lang, hindi tayo nagdidig kung ano ang talagang sitwasyon o anong talagang problema, medyo parang hindi natin makikita kung anong assistance ang pwede nating maibigay. So that's samadhi. Samasan ka po is right intention. No? Right intention. So that if you think that the student needs help, no, then we can show our altruism, no? But you see, if there are instances to which we harbor grudges or ill feelings with students or with our teachers, kayo kasi syempre, yung si ma'am, unfair yan, hindi ko alam kung paano siya nag-grade, matagal magbigay ng grade yan. So you have ill feelings perhaps towards your teachers. And then you think about how could I get even? Um how could I tawag diyan? Uh, yung vengeance ba, no? Vengeance is mine, sabi nga nila, 'di ba? So, naisip nyo, lagot yung teacher na yan pag evaluation. Naku, tingnan ko lang. Okay? So, meron kayong mga ganong isipin. Hindi ko alam kung meron kayong mga ganong isipin. Ano? Okay? So, the thing there is that, sabi dito, a teacher must free himself or herself of selfish attachments, hate, and vengeance. No? In short, you have to forgo the negative emotions, no? Or even motives. For example, if you hate this student na hindi may mga ganun ba kayo? I mean, kahit hindi estudyante, may mga teachers o kahit sino, mga kapwa estudyante din, yung hindi mo alam kung bakit pero pakiramdam mo medyo dislike. Do you dislike this certain person? Okay? So, sabi diyan, ang inaasahan sa inyo ay hindi ang mga negatibong emosyon na ito, kundi na kayo dapat ay altruistic sa inyong mga estudyante. That's right intention. Then, right speech. You avoid gossiping, lying, uttering vulgar and harsh language. No? So, do not spread hatred. No? Spread your legs. Hindi spread your legs. Spread love. No? Spread love. Okay? So, as much as possible, you have to be facilitators of unity, no? Dapat miscongeniality ka, no? Hindi ka backstabber, no? Okay, bakit? At as much as possible, kapag may mga disclosures sa'yo, ay hindi mo na kinikwento pa sa iba. Kasi nga, they are given out of trust, no? So these are confidential information, for example. And there is an expectation, no, that you keep the information, that you don't actually let anyone else, no, in the world know about the information, especially if it's a confidential information. So, right speech. You know when to say what. And whenever you say what, no, you have to make it sure that um, you bridge goodness or peace. Okay? And then we also have right action or samakamanto, no? You must not involve into illicit relationship, physical violence. You must not you must there is an expectation that you you don't engage into immoral acts, no? Ah, like you don't engage into ano yan, pagsusugal, ba? Okay? So, okay? So, right action. In short, mag-iisip ka kung yung mga ginagawa mo, yung mga kinikilos mo ay tama. Dahil your learners actually look up unto you, no? In the same manner, bakit kaya yung kasi this is of course yung may mga may mga memorandum orders or circulars na nagfa-frown ng corporal punishment. Wala na yan, no? There are special penal laws that actually prohibit, no? And even we are guided even by the rules of the respective schools we are into. Okay? So, wala na siguro sa tingin ko ang mag-engage pa ng corporal punishment sa mga estudyante, no? Then we also have right livelihood. Hindi mo pinagkakakitaan ng mga estudyante mo, hindi ka nagbebenta ng kung ano-ano sa kanila, no? And as syempre, you make it sure na hindi mo sila inuutangan, no? Wala, hindi ka engaged sa anumang illegal activity, no? Okay? Because there is a notion that teaching is a noble profession. Okay? So, right effort as much as possible, no? You are expected that when you enter your classes, you have what? You are prepared. You have you have it with you what it takes to be a teacher, no? So before you do an action, so in relation to right action din ito, before you do something, you have to think many times of the possible consequences because, again, your learners look up to you as a role model. Okay? Then, right mindfulness. No? You don't speak ill to others. You don't provoke others. You don't do unpleasant things. Unpleasant things. No? And as much as possible, you live a life, a decent living. Okay? So this is right mindfulness. And then we also have samasa madi, right concentration. A teacher must find time to relax by finding a peaceful place. In short, you also reflect. You do meditation, you do exercise, no? Mental, emotional, and spiritual what exercise, no? Because these are ways, no, for you to somewhat have this what we call focus, no? And when we are refocusing on what matters as a teacher, um, it would be easier for us to do our task, no, and to comply with our accountabilities. Okay, so the educational aim of the Buddhism, again, just like the Islamic education, a philosophy rather, it's what? It's holistic development. Okay, character building, lalong-lalo na dun sa Eightfold Paths, no? In fact, itong Buddhism, yung input nito siguro doon sa Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers, no? Kasi makikita ninyo yung talagang ano yung nararapat, ano yung inaasahan sa isang guro. Okay? The promotion of social efficiency and happiness, and the presentation and spread of culture. Okay? So, curricular emphasis, again, since the belief about nirvana or yung eternal bliss na sinasabi nila, no, na as much as possible ay we do good deeds while we are alive because that's the only possible way for us to be in nirvana, no? Otherwise, you are reincarnated, no? Because reincarnation is a sort of punishment, no? You are attached to the physical world and your soul cannot go up to nirvana, parang ganon. So, um, the emphasis are the teachings of Buddha. Okay? So, marami pang mga iba, Sanskrit, Pali Canon. Okay? Now, teaching methods. Yan. Oral discussion, preaching, repetition and debates. Okay? Other methods like question-answer discussion, arguments. The medium of instruction was the medium of instruction was common language. Okay? And then, ito pala yung role ng teacher, there are two categories of teacher, Acharya and Upadhyay. no? For Acharya, ikaw ay, ang learner ay maninirahan sa bahay ng Acharya. So, I hope, okay. So, I don't know if that was recorded, but I hope it was captured by the video recording. Anyway, we just continue on the discussion. Okay, so we are still on the Buddhism. So, ano ba yung Acharya? Dito ay tinitingnan yung possibility na ang tawag dyan, makisalamuha, ah, makipanuluyan ang learner sa bahay ah, sa bahay ng ng Acharya for 12 years at yun ay walang bayad, no? And then yung upadhay naman, ito yung merong academic instruction at merong bayad, no? So it's part of the okay. What they do is to study the Vedas. Naalala niyo yung discussion natin sa India, no? So ayan, yung Vedas, no? I mean, uh, part what is part of what is being taught, no? Is that of the Vedas. Okay? Then we proceed with Confucianism. Okay, so this time we look into the teachings of Confucius. Okay? Um, remember, okay, so Confucianism is, of course, a religion. Is it a religion? Yeah, which is dominated in China. Okay, so it is developed from the teachings of Confucius or Chu or Kung Fu Chu, no? And I'm sure you know Confucius. No? When it comes to character development, when it comes to um, uh, tawag dyan, yung mga kasabihan na kung saan ikaw ay makakapag-isip ng kung ano ang tama at kung ano ang makakapagpabago sa iyo behaviorally, morally, si Confucius yun. Okay? So, a man is born with uprightness, no? And even immoral persons have an upright essence. Ibig sabihin, kung ang isang tao na medyo nalihis ng landas at gusto niyang baguhin, magbago, or gusto niyang may mabuting mangyari siguro sa kanyang buhay, malamang makakapag-isip siya ng tama, no? At dahil nature ang pagiging tama, nature ang pagiging good ng isang tao, meron siyang kapasidad para magbago. Okay? So, every person is the beginnings of goodness within him or her. Ibig sabihin, there is goodness in us. It's all up upon us on how we could cultivate or how we could nourish this goodness. Whether we show it or not, it's all upon our choice. Okay? So all people are born equal, and thus it becomes imperative for every person to cultivate and to develop what is innately good in him or her. So there is something innately good in us. Okay? By nature, ang tao ay mabuti. So, nasa tao kung magpapakabuti siya as he lived his life, no? And this therefore is giving us the thought that you see, if only you choose to if only you choose to act upon your nature. Meaning to say, kung pipiliin mo lang na ipakita yung kung ano ang inherently good sa'yo, yun po yun. No? So, um, therefore, education, according to the Confucianism, is a means of transformation. We can always transform. We can always cultivate our character. We can always discover our human nature. And our human nature is that we are good. We are born out of the goodness. At sabi nga nila, di ba, sa Christian teaching, we are born out of the image and likeness of God. And God, who is the source of all goodness, no? Since we are creatures of this God who is the source of all goodness, then therefore we are also by nature good. Okay? So through education, virtues are developed and integrated. Kaya bakit kaya sa mga Catholic schools kasama ang religious course? No? Naalala ko when I was at St. Paul from first year up to fourth year, simula nung um, nag-first year ako hanggang nag-graduate ako, eh, pangalan yan, meron kaming theology class, no? Meron kaming religion class. Okay? At kahit sa basic education, kahit sa senior high, hindi ba merong mga merong values education, meron tayong ESP kung saan ay natututo tayo na ipapaliwanag sa atin ang tungkol sa pagiging mabuti at kung paano magpakabuti, no? Pakikipagkapwa, pagmamahal, okay? And all. Okay, so magkakaugnay ang educational aim nila to learn to be an upright moral person, to serve the people and the state. So the purposes of Confucian learning first is to start within the self and then to extend to family and the state. Sabi nila, ah, there can be no way for you to exude goodness if in the first place, deep within you, hindi mo naman ninonorish yung pagiging good mo. No? So, kahit ano pang sabihin mo sa mundo na mabuti kang tao, kung mismo sa sarili mo, hindi ka kakikitaan ng kabutihan, no? Dahil malamang ang mga kilos at gawin mo ay hindi mabuti at hindi nakakabuti maging sa sarili mo, then hindi ka mabuting tao. Oh, parang logic lang yan. Diba? Okay? So, in short, bago mo, kumbaga, parang kung gusto mong tumulong sa pamilya mo o sa community, unang tulungan mo muna ang sarili mo. No? So, before you extend, sabi nga dyan, we should always start with the self. Before you transform, no? Halimbawa, kung ikaw ay magulang at may mga nakita kang hindi maganda sa anak mo, no? Bago mo sila mapagbago, mag-isip ka muna. I mean, tingnan mo muna ang sarili mo kung meron bang dapat baguhin sa'yo. Dahil natural, hindi ka pakikinggan ng mga anak mo kung ikaw mismo ay kakikitaan nila ng something na ah, something to alam mo yon yung pagdating sa behavior mo. Kung meron ka din ng hindi magandang gawi, there can be no way for them to actually believe, no, on what you say. Okay? So there are 5 cardinal values according to Confucius: Li, Ziz, Sin, Gen, and Yi. Ritual, propriety, proper customs in rituals. Ginagawa natin yan. May mga, ano ba tayo? Rituals and traditions, yes. Knowing the truth or understanding the truth, honesty, compassion, and benevolence, and justice and morally right. Okay? So ito ang mga, kumbaga, teachings, no, na ine-emphasize ng Confucius curriculum. Then, Yan. So makikita ninyo dito sa teaching methods na highly teacher-centered pa rin. Okay? So role of the teacher must be one who is virtuous. No? One with a tireless life, who shows commitment to his students and to the learning process. In short, he must serve as a good role model. Okay? And then we also have Hinduism. Okay, so sa Hinduism naman, education is an important means to achieve the Purusharthas or the four aims of human life, that is Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Okay, so the original name of Hinduism is what? Sanatana Dharma or Hindu Dharma. Okay, so the Hindu philosophy is a theistic philosophy which believes in the Trimurti or the Trinity. So kung sa Catholics, meron tayong Trinity, God, God the Father, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Sa kanila, meron silang Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheswar. Okay? Okay, so yung Vedas na binabanggit ko kanina, somewhat um, connected ang Buddhism at Hinduism. So they also believe in reincarnation. Okay? And in fact, ito yung kanina, magkaiba lang sila ng ng Buddhism ng term, pero meron din silang samsara, karma, and moksha. Okay? So, ayan, yung cycle of birth and rebirth. Okay? And for them, this cycle of birth and rebirth appears to be um, a punishment, no? And hence they can only be freed, no? Yung moksha na sinasabi nila if they if they look unto the eternal teaching. Okay, so the goal of education are as follows: self-control, character development, social awareness, personality development. Okay, so ayan. Now, the emphasis would be on developing wisdom, connecting the mind, the body, and the spirit. Okay? So, meron din silang methods. Again, teacher-centered ang kanilang mga methods. So, role of the teachers, spiritual and moral guide. Role models. Medyo magkakaugnay. Okay? And then lastly, we also have the wisdom or Taoism. Okay? So, this arose about at the same time as Confucianism. The founder is Lao Tzu. Okay? And alam nyo ang Taoism, simple lang siya. Ang mga bagay at kalikasan sa mundo ay magkakaugnay. No? So, therefore, as much as possible, we have to respect all what is in the nature or all what is in nature. Okay? So, tingnan ninyo, the Taoist, for, for the Taoist, education is a quest without walls or boundaries. Okay? So, ang pinaka ini-emphasize is the natural laws. So, we live in accordance with nature, no? If we transform, if we make changes, no, we always have to consider or to take into consideration what is in the nature. Okay? So, we have to adapt and we have to assimilate. So, in short, we have to what we call focus on what? Wu Wei. So, we consider building equilibrium with nature. Okay? So, ano yung mga teaching methods? Teaching by example, balance activities that require gathering and analyzing information. Okay? as much as possible, we have to accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative. Okay? So I think yun lang. So you just have to consider basta pag nature, natural environment, okay, one with nature, that's Taoism. Okay? So I think that's it. Okay, so I have to end it here.